In the podcast episode titled, Rivals Become a Friendship Forged with Iron, Flex Lewis and Derek Lunsford discuss their journey in the sport and their evolving relationship. Derek Lunsford is a highly regarded bodybuilder who has achieved significant success on the Mr. Olympia stage. He shares his experiences and challenges in maintaining his faith and overcoming personal difficulties. The two reflect on their rivalry and how it has shaped their friendship. They discuss their initial competitive mindset and how it has evolved over time. Derek talks about his fast rise in the sport, turning pro after just 2 years of competing. He shares his strategy of gaining weight and making progress between competitions. Flex and Derek reminisce about their experiences at the Mr. Olympia and the motivation and inspiration they drew from each other. They share their perspective on the rivalry and how it was fueled by external factors and miscommunication. They discuss the impact of social media and the pressure to perform. Flex and Derek reflect on their meeting at an expo and the positive influence it had on their decision to continue competing. They discuss the intensity of their training and the benefits of training together. Derek talks about his move to Florida and how it brought him closer to Flex. He shares his excitement and anticipation of training with him and being in the same environment. They acknowledge the escalation of their rivalry and the impact it had on their relationship. They also reflect on the challenges and growth they experienced during this time. They reminisce about a heated exchange they had at the Olympia press conference in 2018, which led to a confrontation between Derek and Flex. Despite the initial animosity, Derek expresses his admiration for Flex and his desire to make him proud. The conversation then shifts to Derek's current journey as he transitions from the 212 division to the open division. Flex praises Derek's progress and highlights his dedication and work ethic. The two discuss the challenges of balancing bodybuilding with other commitments, such as social media and personal relationships. They emphasize the importance of focusing on personal growth and bringing one's best to the stage, regardless of the outcome. Derek expresses his admiration for Flex's accomplishments and his desire to follow in his footsteps. Derek expresses his gratitude for Flex's support and mentorship. He acknowledges that winning or losing is not entirely within his control but vows to continue working hard and bringing a better physique to future competitions. Flex encourages Derek to continue pushing himself and believes that he is on the path to becoming a champion. Derek discusses going through a period of depression and finding solace in his faith. He reflects on his past experiences, including placing second in the world and feeling upset about it due to his ego. He also opens up about personal and business problems that further contributed to his depression. The bodybuilder describes hitting rock bottom and contemplating his life, but ultimately turning to his faith and surrendering to God. He talks about how giving his problems to God and finding peace in his relationship with Him was a turning point in his life. He emphasizes that finding faith doesn't guarantee a perfect life, but it brings peace and a sense of purpose. Derek also discusses the importance of gratitude in overcoming depression. He shares how he started being more grateful for the things in his life and how it changed his perspective. He advises listeners to focus on gratitude and to be aware of the negative voices in their heads, which he believes are not from God. He encourages listeners to differentiate between the voice of truth and the negative voice, and to choose to listen to the voice of truth. Throughout the episode, the bodybuilder emphasizes the significance of his faith and the role it plays in his life. He talks about his relationship with God and how it has guided him through his struggles. He believes that everyone has a unique purpose in life and that it is important to listen to God's calling. He shares his belief that obedience to God is greater than sacrifice, and that honoring and glorifying God should be the ultimate goal. The bodybuilder also discusses his relationship with his coach and how it has positively impacted his life. He talks about the support and guidance he receives from his coach, who not only focuses on his bodybuilding career but also supports him in other aspects of his life. He shares his experience training with Ronnie Coleman, a former bodybuilder, and how it motivated him to make the previous generation proud. Towards the end of the episode, the bodybuilder mentions his past experience with sun poisoning and a skin infection, which affected his preparation for a competition. He explains that he had to decline an invitation for deep-sea fishing from Ronnie Coleman due to his focus on the upcoming competition. He expresses his commitment to the Olympia and his determination to improve his training. Overall, this podcast episode delves into the personal struggles and triumphs of a bodybuilder who finds strength and purpose through his faith. It highlights the importance of gratitude, the power of surrendering to God, and the impact of positive relationships and mentorship.